cat was cold. He said, don't call us, child, we'll call you. I said, you got my number? He said, yeah, I got it when you walked in the door. I said, wait a minute. He said, He said, don't call us. All right, wait a minute.
These are my passengers, right? Charlotte, right? There's the biggest EDM concert, Ultra. It's downtown Miami, but I know the alternate way, so I take another way. If you follow the GPS, you're going to get caught in a 2-hour traffic jam, and everybody's following the GPS. So I-95 is all the way backed up, pretty much to North Miami Beach. But I took the streets here, which is called Biscayne Boulevard, Federal Highway. Yeah, so I got off at the Sunny Isles, which is right before North Miami Beach, and I took the streets. And this time it is rush hour traffic, but it's better to be in the streets than it is to be on the highway, because the highway you're locked in, can't go anywhere. So yeah, I did good.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks very much. Yeah, this concert, I guess you can call it a concert. The DJs are really performing, but it's a concert, many stages, and it takes a week to set it up. So normally when you go to a concert, they take 1 day to set it up. This takes a week to set up. You might see some of it on the left. You'll see a Ferris wheel, and it's where the Ferris wheel is. When we go over this bridge, if you look to the left, you'll see some giant white tents, and those tents, there's different tents for different DJs. So yeah, then there's one major tent for the biggest DJs, and that happens at night. So it starts today. The small DJs play today, and then it just builds until at night. So all the big DJs play at night. But you should see when we come, not here, but when we come out of the tunnel. If you look to the left, you'll see the Ferris wheel. I don't know if you can see it from here. But that's Bayside Marketplace, the Ferris.
I left a letter in our room saying about the concert. We're like, make sure you have your own transportation figured out, because it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, we've had about a dozen calls in the last couple of days just with people wanting to come in, like they're flying in for the concert and they want to go to a hotel around here. And anyone that's coming in for that concert, we don't. Matter of fact, today's the only day that I'm here. I'm going to Fort Lauderdale and staying in Fort Lauderdale. I'm not coming back to Miami. So we have it in our calendars when Ultra is this 3-day weekend. And those of us who don't want to sit in traffic and are really efficient, we just block these 3 days off, and we'll just do one job in the morning, and then we won't come back here.
Sure, makes sense.
Yeah. If you look to the left, you'll see a Ferris wheel. You should see it, right? Yeah, right to the left. Yeah, there it is. You can see it long ways across from that Virgin ship. Yeah, and that's where the concert is. I guess you can't see any.
Yeah.
You can't see any tents because they're inland.
GPS signal acquired.
Yeah. Where were you staying?
The Biscayne Bay Marriott.
Yeah, that's
Was
right
it over
there.
this
Yeah,
side?
that's right there. Yeah.
That was good.
It's right there. See, it
Oh,
says
yeah,
Marriott?
I see it. Yep.
Yeah, that's it right there. And then the DoubleTree is right next to
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
K8 and
That's a great Marriott, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that it's got a mall in it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to leave.
So handy.
Yeah, you don't have to leave that hotel. That's
we just stayed there.
Yeah, that's true. That hotel you could just stay at,
It was a
right?
great location. I'm glad we moved down here.
Yeah, that's Marriott's, one of Marriott's premium spots.
Yeah.
If you look at all their best locations, that's like top 25 of all the Marriotts. That
And I got a
location.
great deal on it too. It was like,
You know why? Because there's so many rooms.
oh.
You know, when there's that many rooms, it's hard to book that hotel out. There's over 1,000 rooms in there.
Glad we got it. It worked out great.
And worst case scenario, you can always walk to the ship. You got to walk over the bridge, but
Well, yeah, you could
you'd be
get there.
surprised how many people have to do that on busy days when
You
there's
can't get through, right?
let's say 7 or 8 ships there,
Right.
and everybody's calling Ubers, and Ubers are canceling. It's like, say it's 2 people, 3 people. No Ubers will go in there because they'll take too long. So some people say you've got to bite the bullet. We got to walk over the bridge with the luggage. It happens.
Sure.
It happens all the time when there's more than 5 or 6 ships.
Gotta make your cruise. Gotta make your cruises, right?
And when you rely on Uber,
Yeah.
it's not a science. You know, you're really at the whim of those drivers. They can cancel,
True.
right? You don't really pay them ahead of time. You pay them when you're hiring them, so they can just refuse the job.
That's true.
And it happens a lot. The Uber drivers in most major cities are spoiled, and they care about how much money they're going to make. They don't care as much as about how you're going to make your cruise. People don't leave.
That's true.
Yeah, because you know why too? You can't really. I think once somebody cancels a job, I don't know if you can leave a review on him. I don't know how that works. I don't use
I don't
Uber.
know. Yeah.
But if they don't have any repercussions on canceling jobs, then they'll do it all the time.
True.
K8 and
See the traffic on the other side? That's what I would have had to stay in, and if you notice, it's not moving. And sooner or later, there's going to be an accident in there, and then it's done for 3 hours. I don't see no accidents yet, but
K8 and
you're going to see eventually as the day goes on, it's just going to get worse. And as the day goes on, there's going to be an accident in that express lane. Well, the express lane ended here, but you're going to drive up a little more. We're getting on our express lane now, so there's going to be cones here, and that's where the accidents are, because people are going to go through the cones. See, the cones started here over there, and they started here over there, and that's what makes this highway so dangerous, is this express lane with these cones. It's too tempting for people when they're in gridlock and we're doing 80 miles an hour. It's too tempting. See, look, you see? It's too tempting for one person, and it's usually a young person that hasn't been driving that long, that doesn't know how to judge correctly, looking through it. Because how often are you stopped and a car's going by at 80 miles an hour? Very rarely has that ever happened. So here it is, you're in that traffic, you're trying to judge how fast the car's going. Then you gotta go slow to go over the cones. And by the time you hit this street, you're doing 20 miles an hour, and that car hits you from behind. It happened the other day. I got it on video. The most scariest thing. It happened right in front of me, and luckily I navigated through it. But it was very, very dangerous, very scary. It makes me not want to drive in this lane, because that's the lane that you get hit in, right? See all those cars? Look how tempting it is for them to go over those cones, right? Yeah. And you see it happen. Usually, the people that do it correctly when there's no cars in this lane. Some people do it. Matter of fact, all these cones used to be orange. Look, see how there's an orange one every now and then? So they were all orange. So look at the big gaps in there where people are just going through. You don't even have to go through the cones. So they were all orange. The orange ones broke. Then they put white ones, which are a little thicker if you really look at it, and they're glued down, epoxy down. So they'll bend, and you go over them, they'll bend, but eventually they'll pop up, and they'll fly in the air. So the orange ones are the original ones, the white ones are the replacement, and every now and then you'll see a brand new white one, and that means that they come by at night and they just glue them down, maybe once a week, twice a week they'll glue them down, but everybody's going over them, and they're breaking all the time, and they're making gaps where people actually think it's an exit or an entrance. Because if you get on here by mistake, the GPS doesn't know about this lane. So if you're in this lane and you're looking at your GPS, the GPS will say, okay, you're getting off in a quarter mile, and then say you got to get off there. People actually think that they're from this lane, they're actually going to get off, and if they see an opening, they think that's the exit. It's so crazy, right? Yeah. Can't even say it's not. I can't even say it's their fault, because if you really think about it, if the GPS doesn't know that you're in here and it tells you to make a right, people are so glued to the GPS, you think it's telling the truth. But like I said, the GPS doesn't know. They just know you're on I-95 North. It doesn't know that you're in these two lanes. Scary, yeah, it's very scary. So this looks like a little accident over here. I doubt this guy ran out of gas like this, but this is ridiculous because look at this. There's no shoulder here. Look, there's no shoulder, and this guy's pulled over with his hazards on in this lane. Now, I mean, if it's an accident, you could drive away. I mean, the only reason he should be stuck there is if his car doesn't work. Because if that's an accident, even if it's a flat tire, you just want to keep driving until the shoulder gets bigger. It'll get bigger. And so he does have a flat. All right, but still, he should still be driving with his hazards on. He shouldn't stay there. Yeah, he's gonna be there for hours. Let's see how far he would have had to drive before it gets bigger. Watch. Let's see. Maybe right there would have been better. It's actually getting wider now. Yeah. no vehicle inspection in Florida. Isn't that crazy? With all the Ubers driving with bald tires. That guy, he might have been an Uber. Could have been an Uber XL, that guy. We have inspection. But really all cars should have inspection. Do I want to be driving next to a car with bald tires? No. At the very least, there always should be a tire inspection. Nothing else. If anything else, because what's gonna make a broke guy or girl get new tires? Some people get new tires when they get a flat because they have no tread. Really, some kids, right? Who's got $200 for a tire? They'll just drive it until the tire goes bad, right? And that's so dangerous, especially in the rain. Yeah. I throw away my tires that most people would drive on. You know what I mean? If my tire goes less than 50%, I throw it away and get another one. Literally like every 3 oil changes, I'm putting new tires on. Yeah, just to make sure I always have great tires. So it's so important. Looks like there's another accident up there. Looks like that truck probably hit that 18-wheeler probably hit somebody. Yeah, it hit the car with the blinkers on. Yep. Probably a small accident, but nonetheless, it is an accident. A Mercedes SUV. Oh, 2 cars. Yeah, 2 cars in a truck. Did you guys have breakfast on the ship?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I usually when you get off that early, you don't.
They had a little, like, donuts and pastry deal and some juice.
No eggs?
No eggs.
Doesn't count. Breakfast doesn't count unless you have eggs.
Log out this
We didn't
signal.
sit down. We just had some pastries, but it's a little something.
Yeah. You guys must have got a good workout walking around that ship. If you're not used to exercise, right? And then you go on it. Was that a week cruise?
4 days.
4 days. If you go on a cruise for 4 days, a ship that big, and you're not used to walking, it's like a workout. You guys probably felt like you did some exercise.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I agree. Some passengers are so exhausted they can barely step up to get into the van by the time they get off the ship. Like a 7-week cruise on Icon of the Seas, they can't even walk on the ship. They've been walking for 7 days everywhere. And especially if you're a senior, you never walked before, right? Yeah. It's actually the best thing for you, but use it or lose it, right? All of those buildings are on the beach. This 95 goes parallel with the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah. That's pretty much where I took US 1, where those buildings were. Yeah, so pretty much I got off right before this bridge and went to those buildings and then went all the way that way.
Log out signal stored.
see Miami Dolphin football stadium if you look to the left. Past those nets, that's the building with the 4 spikes sticking up. Hard Rock Stadium. Yeah.
K8 and
And it looks like it's going to be a nice day today again. I know you had some great weather because the weather's been great for 4 days.
It's been perfect.
A week before that, it was raining every day. Your week, it was great.
Perfect.
Yeah, yeah, you had a good week. Yeah.
Good week. Yeah.
signal stored. Log out this signal. Log out this signal. Signal stored.
ships in Fort Lauderdale. There's a lot of them this morning too. So those passengers are. Yeah, I bet you that it's going to take a while to get. I'm assuming it's going to take a while.
There was a Fort Lauderdale cruise port.
Yeah, and there's 4 ships there today, and they're all getting off now too. And look at all this traffic backed up right before the airport. We have to get in this traffic because this is how you get to the airport.
Sure,
So
sure.
I'm thinking not only are these people going from Miami to get to Fort Lauderdale, but now it's Fort Lauderdale. Yeah. Yeah, you're good. You did
That
good.
was a great express lane.
Yeah, it is. It's
choice.
Yeah, that was $11.
Well, worth it.
Exactly. I look at it the same way. It's right there.
Oh,
But not only. But listen, not only the money. I look past the money. You know, we make enough money in this business, but I look at it like it's the safest lane.
Oh yeah.
Right? If you're in that left lane and you're right in front of the guy in front of you and you just keep it going, it's the safest thing because everything is going to happen over here, and nobody can cut you off, which happens. That's a lot of the accidents. Yeah, it's people jamming on the brakes, getting hit from behind, or people cutting you off. So if you're just always on the guy in front of you, it's the safest thing to do. Yeah. I was watching the news yesterday, the local news, and they said that they just are researching to put a train from downtown Miami to Port Miami, a passenger train. They said they're not going to do it. If they do it, they're not going to do it till 2030. So it's a ways away because it's a big project. They're going to have to build a new bridge over from the island to the mainland, and then put a train track on that bridge, build a terminal. They got to get it approved, they got to get it funded. But out of nowhere, here it is, I'm watching the local news when I got home last night around 10 o'clock at night before I go to bed. And I said, wow, that's odd. I mean, this is, and they were showing the traffic backed up and how bad it really is. And obviously Miami is trying to do something about it. So they had a study and trying to say, how can we alleviate this traffic? And they only came up with, all the experts said, you got to put a passenger train. It's one of the most expensive things to do. You already did the tunnel. You can't put 2 tunnels. You already did a tunnel because originally there was a bridge. Then they built the tunnel. Now they're going to put a train, but it'll probably happen in 5 years. But that's kind of cool. Yeah. I always say it when I'm stuck in traffic over there that they have to have a way to get people on and off that island other than a vehicle. And like I said, people do walk, but very few people walk because it's such a long walk. And most people they're older. But the only ones that walk are the kids with knapsacks, unless it's an emergency. Like I said, the Ubers get canceled. Then sometimes you see grandmas. I feel so bad for them. And I can't even stop and pick them up because there's a wall, and they would never be able to climb over the wall. The wall is like that big, and they would never be able to get over the wall. Yeah. So it is going to be, in the future, it's going to be, I would think, very cool to be able to jump on a train, go right over the island, yeah. Because even passengers that stay where you stayed, right, still have a hard time getting to the port.
Oh, sure.
Even though you're 5 minutes away.
I looked at that and I read all about it. I'm like, well, this is as close as I'm going to try and get it, but I know there was traffic.
You know how often we give quotes out and people want to know why it's the same price from Miami Airport to your hotel, then to your hotel. Is another accident right here. Your hotel to the port. They're like, well, it's a 30-minute ride from the airport to the hotel, and it's only a 5-minute ride from the hotel to the port. And then we have to explain, yeah, it takes 5 minutes to get to the port, and it's going to take another half hour to get from the port to your ship because of all the traffic. It's something that we have to explain every day, if we even want to explain. A lot of times we don't even want to explain. You start explaining things 10 times a day for years and years. Eventually you just say, ma'am or sir, that's the rate. That's just what it is. It is what it is. That trip. In other words, I rather drive people from the Miami airport to your hotel than from your hotel to the cruise port.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, or I have to actually go online and find out how many ships are there that day,
Yeah.
and then decide. Right? I have to decide
How
whether,
long is it gonna be?
and then I know by how many ships, and you really don't want to have to. You don't want to have to actually keep track of it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to keep track of it, but you could keep. There is a way, I guess, to proactively, document it all, put it on a calendar, and then you could look at the calendar and say, oh, there's 7 ships there that day. We ain't going to the port that morning, only but once, maybe, right?
Yeah, maybe once.
Where if there's 3 ships, maybe we can go there 3 times.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe I can have AI make that calendar for me. I wouldn't be surprised, because there's a website called Cruise Mapper.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know Cruise
I saw
Mapper?
that, yeah.
All right, so if you go to Cruise Mapper and then you go into the search box and click and put Miami,
Yeah.
and then click enter,
Yeah.
then it comes up with Port Miami. So if you click that link, then it comes up with Port Miami's itinerary. You have to select your month,
Yeah.
then select your day. So maybe you could tell AI to go through all those steps,
Day 8 and
right? And then once they can get to that calendar date, say copy that data and email it to me, right? And then if they can do one day, they can do all the days.
Right.
Maybe I'll go down that rabbit hole at lunch.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe I will do that
Try
at
it
lunch, because
out.
that would be a great idea.
Absolutely. Time saver.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. I also tell passengers that when they're gonna come on a cruise, after they decide what cruise they want to go on, right?
Yeah.
Try to go to Cruise Mapper to see how many ships are there that day, because that has a lot to do with the experience of traveling, right? So if you're gonna go on Wonder of the Seas, why not look to see every 4 days, right? Which 4th day has the least amount of ships that month?
Yeah.
And that would be the best cruise to go on, because then your embarkation and your disembarkation would be the easiest.
So much better.
That is probably what people don't even consider, but I would, as a person that knows how important that is, that I would only want to go on a cruise if there was 4 ships or less. Once it gets to 5, matter of fact, last night when I watched that segment on the news about the bridge, they said there was 75,000 people a day going to Port Miami. So think about that. That's what they said. 75,000 a day going either over the bridge or in the tunnel.
That's crazy.
It is 75,000.
A lot of people.
Yeah. So if they charged $1 a day, actually, I don't know how many vehicles. I don't even know how they know. You know what? They look at probably cruise ship sales, and they can calculate it that way, right? It doesn't really account for how many vehicles. So there probably would be a lot less vehicles, 70, because there's multiple people in every vehicle. But 75,000 people, if you look at the average person in a vehicle is 4, then that would be or 3, that would be like 20,000, maybe 20,000 cars a day. So if you charge $1 a car, that's how you can make the money to put that train there.
That's true. Yeah.
They already charged me $4.
Right.
I have that little chip up there, so I have to pay, being that I am a permitted shuttle driver and I have an account with them. But the Ubers don't pay, taxis don't pay, cars don't pay. But I pay, I think, $4.75 or something like that, and it's probably going to go up to $5. It's been going up every year. It goes up 25, 30 cents every year. Yeah. And even if I go in there, let's say you weren't ready, right?
Yeah. I know. That's what you were saying when we came in. You're like, if I have to go around, it's like.
If I have to go around, it takes like 20 minutes, right? And then I got to go back in line, and that line is getting longer as the day goes on. But then I also got to pay another $4.75.
That's true.
Every time I loop, I got to pay again, yeah. Because it thinks that you might have dropped people off downtown and came back. So the transponder doesn't give you any like grace period. As long as you're going through where that nobody knows where it is. It's kind of a secret, I guess. nobody knows where it reads it.
Sure.
There's a reader somewhere on that island, and nobody knows where it is. But every time you pass it, it's going to charge you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you look straight ahead, you see some smoke. That's a ship right there. That would be Royal Caribbean. That's probably, that's probably Liberty of the Seas right there. Because Liberty is, Oasis and Liberty are there. So it's either the big one or the little one. It looks big. That must be Oasis. That looks like a big Royal Caribbean, yeah. They take turns. The big one comes, then the little one comes. That's the big one. And there's another ship straight ahead. You can see that one. Oh, there's two. And there's three. You see that? That's a Celebrity. That's a Holland America. So right there's 4 ships that we can see from here. It is good that we're early, because at 9 o'clock, 9:30 is when the airport will be the most crowded. Because people are getting off the ship right now over here. Yeah, between 8:30 and 9:30, and then they're going to the airport. So I feel like
Sweet spot a little bit.
yeah, I think we're in that sweet spot where it wouldn't be too busy. It's definitely getting busier as the time goes on.
I'd rather be here, and I'm happy to wait. It's my flight, but I just wanted to get here because I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, you did good.
All the traffic.
You did good. You can hire me anytime.
Well, you're doing great.
I'm gonna put a star by your name.
Yeah, but give me a star.
Yes, a star means that when people call, don't let it go to voicemail.
Okay.
And when they text, answer the text, because there's so many people that call and text. A lot of times we can't get to them.
I know.
But when there's this, well, thank you very much. When there's a star by somebody's name, we make them a priority. Usually if they're multiple repeat clients, and they make it a point to remind us, we used you last year. We used you for the last 3 years.
Well, we did. We used you. Maybe it was 3 years ago.
All right, I'm putting a star, just so you can see. I'm putting a star by your name. I'll show you how I do it. Watch.
Do it.
So I go to
Because I
Charlotte.
remembered you. I was like, oh, we're gonna need a shuttle.
I go to Charlotte. I click info. Then I do edit. Then I put a star right there. So every time you call or text, where's the star? There's the star right there. See that?
I love it.
So every time you call and text, there's the star by your name. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gold star. That's it.
All right, yeah. The airport would be backed up right here. So think about this. We're going into the airport in about an hour. All of this traffic going in will be backed up pretty much all the way down here. And there's really no traffic, so that's great.
Yeah, for sure. This was good. All right.
Well, I appreciate the repeat business. I do. Thank you.
It worked out well last time, and I was like, I knew you. I knew you could get us there. I'm like, I'm just gonna book you again.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I kept them on my phone. Yeah, because we had them like 3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, we delete our texts after 1 year. So a lot of times when people text us, we don't know who they are, right? But now we will, because we see that star. So some passengers assume that because some people keep their texts forever, and we just can't, because it's just too many texts. It's just too many. It actually slows up your phone. You know, big time. Even especially when you're sending photos in every text, because every text we're sending photos, we're sending screenshots of the receipt, and when we're talking, we're talking thousands of texts a year, and it really just takes up like 40 gigabyte of space. And then when you go to search for something, it has to search through all those texts before it gives you a result. So the minimum is 1 year delete. So it automatically deletes. Like every day, let's say, there's probably hundreds of texts that get deleted, because every day it's a 1 year anniversary of the delete text option. So yeah, every morning when that phone gets turned on at 4 a.m., it probably automatically deletes hundreds of texts. I think that's how it works. Because if I go to my texts and scroll down, the last text will be a year from right now. Yeah. What do you go to Cape Canaveral?
Yeah.
I just got a text this morning for someone.
Do you go up there?
No, but because we're Florida shuttle vans and Google doesn't really understand what that really means. We really only work in Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach County. But Google, we have a lot of Google advertising and all that, and Google just says, all right, you want to go on a cruise in you want to go on a cruise in Florida? This company's the one to use. And people say they find us on Google, but it's hard to tell Google that you don't work in Orlando. Yeah. I think United is at the end of Terminal 1, so I'm gonna get you to the last door.
We're here. I don't care where I have to go.
And let's see how long the line is, because usually there's a line out these doors, and there's not today. So it looks like things are going good with TSA.
TSA's okay
Yeah.
today.
Usually there's a line all the way out here.
Good day.
You're gonna go to this
Yeah,
door.
that's perfect. Yeah, that's good. All good.
You're welcome. I'm glad it worked out. I'm gonna open the doors for you.
Yeah, good.
Let me take the seatbelts off. You need to stick something in there to take it off, but you can leave that on. But you can't get it off. Let me get it off. Oh, you use the Ka-ching!